think the first 15 minutes was okay. It was the high tempo that we wanted. We pinned them back, and then in their first attack, I think they got free. They broke our press, and they got a runner in. And even though not too dangerous, it was a bit of a warning shot. And I don't know if that made us a little bit apprehensive, but it became quite static, and they took over the game. They controlled the game quite well. Steve had them well organised, and they played with a low block and broke quickly, and they controlled the game quite comfortably. The goal came in sort of the middle of that, and that put us on the back foot. We had to chase the game, and then we changed tactically a couple of things at half time, and it improved for us. We got more bodies further up the field. But I thought our decision making when we were in good situations was not good enough. And even though we played more quickly in our combination play in the second half, we weren't as committed to the sort of movements, the patterns of movement that we've been doing. We weren't as committed as I'd like to see us. So we didn't have the quality to break down what was a solid block. You've got to have plenty of movement. You've got to have plenty of awareness if you're going to break down that sort of compact defence. I don't think it was a bad performance, but it was a performance without the edge that we want to see. And I think that edge was the fact that we didn't make those decisions, and we didn't read things early enough. So not the result we wanted, absolutely not.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go straight to members of the media. It's your turn to ask questions. There is the first 10 from Fidel.
Thank you, Vina. Afternoon, Coach. Unlucky on the result today. Looking on the sides, do you think sometimes Shanti should have crossed one time, because he seemed to pass it back a few times? Also on the right side as well, Njabulo Blom, yeah, his crosses weren't getting to the targets. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, look, when you play against a team that are solid, narrow, then you try and get around them. You overload, and then you try and get out down the other side and see if you can get your crosses into a few bodies in the box. And we succeeded in getting the balls out there. But as you say, the quality of that ball. So yeah, he played backwards a little bit too much for our liking. And Jobu Blum can do better with his quality. I have to say, sometimes he was really 80 metres to get into those positions, but I think both of them will be a little bit disappointed with the service that they gave, and obviously that's part of the thing. When I say the edge, they're both. Jobu's delivered great balls. So even in this game, he delivered a couple of great balls, but consistency, it wasn't really there.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Temba.
All right, there we go. Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Bravi. Just a quick one, Coach. You played against the Stellenbosch that wanted to always catch you on the counter, although they wanted to actually get a draw out of this match. Going away with the loss from your side, it should be disappointing knowing that you had so many box entries and they only had a few chances to score. But what do you think made it so hard for your boys to break into that defense that was so solid? What was needed on the day? And the second one, just a quick one, Keegan has made it back into the Bafana squad. What's your take on that, Coach?
I think when you're talking about the balance of the game, yeah, we could see, and we prepared for the fact that they were going to play with three centre backs and defend a bit deeper. I thought maybe they'd play with one of the big men up there, and with a quick one off him, they had Mendieta wandering around behind the tree. So it wasn't totally different to how we envisaged it. I don't think in our shifting at the back, it wasn't the speed and the quality in that, so that we disarmed them more often. And there wasn't the speed and the quality in our movement, the commitment to our movement and getting our strikes away on goal. When the space was at a premium, you've got to move defenders. And so you've got to be really focused and time your movement and move their defenders around. And we didn't do that. So having said that, we still got in enough that if we'd have had more quality in the finish, or we'd have had more quality in that last decision to play one more pass and stay calm, if we'd have taken one of those chances, I think it would have been a very, very different game, because they'd have had to come out maybe. But as it was, they organised themselves well, put down space. They left the quick lad up, and he's a handful all the time with his speed. There wasn't a lot of chances for them, but it's disappointing for us to not have the opportunities that we've had in previous games.
Last two questions.
With Keegan, I think it's absolutely warranted. I think he's been excellent in the games. He's worked very, very hard, and I think he's shown since he came back from France that he's not one of these lads he's had a little bit of experience abroad, and therefore he'll come back and show everybody just how clever he is. I think he's putting in serious shifts as well, as the stats would show, and I'm sure that's something that's been in the thoughts of you.
Thank you, Coach. We'll wrap up starting with Fidel, and we'll wrap up with Robin.
Hello?
I'm right here. I thought I saw David from Midiski Times.
No, go for it, leader.
All right. Coach, the derby, have you given it any thought, and how does it affect going to the derby, this result? Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the derby at all. I think this result, win, lose or draw, the derby lives its own life. That's my experience of all derbies. So now we have a couple of days to recuperate, refresh, and put together the game plan for Pirates, because you're certainly not trying to get one eye on Pirates and one eye on Stellenbosch. That would be suicidal. So we've tried to give this all of our attention, and we'll give the Pirates game all of our attention now.
Good one, Fidel. Thank you, Robin.
Oh, Vina, my question was almost exactly the same as his. Oh, sorry.
Thank you very much, Robin. Any last take, given that Robin has lost his spot? We'll go to David. No, Robin, we'll close with David. Thank you, Robin. Spare that one for next time. David?
Afternoon.
Okay, sure.
Afternoon, Coach. Tough luck on the result. I just wanted to get your thoughts around Austin Bugle. You played the previous 3 games where you picked up 7 points. He was on the bench today. Was it a tactical reason or what made you decide on that change at the back? Thank you.
Well, everything's a tactical decision, isn't it? It's you pick a team that you think's the best one for the game, based on current form, based on experience, based on suitability to the team. So I just felt that was the right back four to pick, based on all the training that I've seen and the performances in the games.